Welcome back. In this series of videos, we are going to be installing VMware Workstation, and we'll be using it to create virtual machines for our Windows infrastructure. Now, VMware Workstation used to cost about $200, or free if you had the VMWare subscription, which also costs about $300. But now Broadcom has made the software free for anyone to download and use. And I've personally used VMware Workstation over the years to build virtual machines whenever I was studying for an IT certification. And before we start, let's create a task that we want to accomplish in this section. So first, we want to create an account on the Broadcom website. We will download VMware Workstation from the Broadcom portal, install VMware Workstation, create a folder in the D drive called VM-storage, change the default VM storage location to be the VM storage folder, create a new network adapter and assign it to the network 172.20.20.0/24. The first thing you'll want to do is register for a Broadcom account, unless you already have one. So what I'll do is I'll go to Google Chrome, then I'll type in Broadcom sign up in the address bar. I'll click on the first link to navigate to the Broadcom portal. I'll enter the email address that I want to use for the registration process. I'll enter the CAPTCHA text to prove that I'm not a robot, then click Next. It will send me an email with the verification code, so I'll open that email, and this is what the email will look like. So I'll enter the code, and then click Verify and Continue. I'll continue by entering a few more information like name, country, etc. And I'll create a password. I'll check the box to accept the terms of use and then click Create Account. I'll click the option to build my profile later. I'll close this little pop-up message welcoming me to the Broadcom support site. And now that I've created my account, I will click on Login, enter my username and password. And once I'm signed in, I'll click on Software, then VMware Cloud Foundation, My Downloads. I'll scroll down and find VMware Workstation Pro, and I'll click on that. Now, if you're using a Mac, you'll want to download VMware Fusion. For Windows and Linux, you'll want to download VMware Workstation Pro. I'll choose to download VMware Workstation 17.0 for Windows. Then I'll choose version 17.6.1, which is the latest version at this time. Next, I'll check the box to agree to the terms and conditions. Then I'll click the download icon and say yes to the additional verification requirements. And here I've entered some random information and then click Submit. And once again, I'll click on the download icon, and this time the download begins. Once the download is completed, I'll head to my Downloads folder. I'll right-click and select Open. I'll click Yes to accept the program to make changes to my computer. I'll click Next at the Welcome Setup wizard. I'll check the box to accept the license terms and agreement, then click Next. I'll leave the box checked to add VMware Workstation console tools into the system path, then click Next. I'll also leave both of these checked to check for product updates on start, and to join the VMware Customer Experience Improvement Program. I'll allow it to create a desktop icon and an entry in my Start Menu Programs folder, and then click Next. Lastly, I'll click Install. And once the installation is completed, I get two options to either license or finish. I'll click Finish for now, but the next time I open the software, I will license it. Before I open VMware Workstation, I'll go to my File Explorer. Then I'll go to my D drive. And I'll create a new folder here. I'll name it VM-storage. And this will be our default folder locations for all of our virtual machines. Next, I'll open up VMware Workstation. And here it's asking me for a license key. I can click on the option to use VMware 17 for personal use, and then click Continue, and then Finish. Once VMware Workstation is open, first thing I'll do is go to Edit, then Preferences, and I'll change the default storage location for my virtual machine to be our VM-storage folder on the D drive. I'll click on Browse, then find my VM-storage folder, and then select it and click OK. Once again, I'll click on the Edit menu, and then I'll click on Virtual Network Editor. We can use this editor to modify our networks that is used by our virtual machines. We have this little notice telling us that we need administrator privileges before we can modify the network configuration. I'll click on Change Settings, then Yes to allow this app to make changes to my device. If I click on my different networks, I can make changes to any of them. Now what I want to do is click on Add Network to create a new network. I will select VMnet 10 as my network. We can see the new network is created, and it's a host-only connection, which can only communicate with other virtual machines on the network. I'll uncheck the box to use DHCP service, since OpenSense will be handling all DHCP requests, and I'll change the subnet IP address to be 172.20.20.0, and I'll leave the subnet mask as is, and then I'll click OK. And with that, we've completed all of the tasks that we've set out to accomplish. So in the next video, we will be installing OpenSense in VMware Workstation, and we'll kind of see the difference between how VMware Workstation does things compared to how VirtualBox did it. So I'll see you in that video. Thank you for watching. If you find the information helpful, please feel free to like the video and subscribe to the channel for future videos. Thank you.